Hi there, I'm David Bertrand. Today I want to talk about athlete selection, and I think it's a topic that's definitely overlooked, under discussed, and I think it's something that if we spend a little bit of time on it on the front end can pay huge dividends on the back end. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to the four C's. The four C's of athlete selection. Number one is coaching philosophy. Coaching philosophy is something that if you are aligned with your athlete powerfully in terms of where you're headed, this can really make for a great relationship. Coaching philosophy comes from principles and beliefs that guide your action. Coaching philosophy comes from your life, your education, and your profession. A lot of coaches, when they're asked what their coaching philosophy is, they kind of hem and haw and they shoot from the hip more or less, and they explain coaching philosophy just as, I believe in, and they just kind of go with it. What if you had a coaching philosophy that you'd actually predetermined, that you'd memorized, that actually talks about who you are as a person, what you're committed to in coaching and in life? So much so that someone that would read it would be attracted to that. When writing down my coaching philosophy is something that I did within the last year, and I've seen it pay off huge for me in terms of aligning myself with athletes that are also committed to the same vision. So my coaching philosophy is to help other people to the best of my ability and with the utmost of integrity, to communicate openly, honestly, and with transparency, to listen intently, and to be unstoppable in improving the performance, health, wellness, and fitness of all whom I come in contact with. So now when someone asks me what I'm about, or, hey, I'm interested in working with you. What's your coaching philosophy? Boom, it's right there. This is who I am. This is what I've done. This is how I want to help you. And if they're looking for something outside of what I just communicated, then we know from the onset that it's not something they're going to get with me. So I think that this is the most important one. I think that if you have a coaching philosophy that resonates with where you're headed and who you are and where you're going, I think this can make things really, really easy for you down the line. So coaching philosophy, number one. Number two is chemistry. Professional chemistry and attraction. I think when you're meeting with somebody, and if you can sense that energy and that chemistry with that person, I think that's a positive thing. I've definitely had relationships where that's been present or hasn't been, and not to say that it's always going to be this amazingly amazing amount of chemistry, but I think it's something that you want to look at, because if there's really not something that's there's not a desire, there's not something that's attracting to that person, I think it may not last. So if you enter into the relationship thinking, well, I think there's something there's probably not. So look at that. Look to see if there's a chemistry between you and that athlete. The third one is curiosity. I think this is very important. Are you curious about this athlete's goals? Are you curious about the direction they're headed? Have you perhaps not worked with this exact type of scenario before, to which you're excited to apply something to a different context? Within the last year for me, this has looked like taking on a soccer player, taking on someone who wants to live to be 100 years old. I can take the principles and philosophies of exercise physiology or of health and wellness and fitness in general and apply it to a new context in ways that folks that are searching for this type of goal haven't had access to before. So while the large majority of our clients might be endurance athletes or even triathletes, marathoners, whatever it may be, thinking outside the box in terms of where else you might be curious, these types of athletes can really open your eyes. And so I ask you, are you curious about these athletes' goals, or is it just another athlete? And last but not least, I'll say clarity. Do you have clarity that this is somebody who you want to work with, or do you find that in the conversations that either you're trying to talk them into hiring you, or they're trying to talk you into hiring them? I think that if both sides are aligned with coaching philosophy, if there's a chemistry, if you have a curiosity either about each other or about the direction, and there's an excitement about achieving that goal, I think then if you can reach that and be clear and reach the clarity that, yeah, this is what I want to do moving forward, I think that's a pretty good list of things to go through to make sure that you are entering into a relationship that's going to be empowering for both sides. So just a few little tidbits of what I've learned over the last 8 years. Hopefully you'll pick something up from it. I call it the 4 C's of athlete selection. I hope it helps you. Have a great day. Thanks. I'm David Bertrand from DFW Tri Club.